Dear friends, welcome to part 8 of our series, Exploring Sexual Energy, Semen Retention, Celibacy, and Brahmacharya. In this episode, we persist in our quest to comprehend the power of sexual energy and its capacity to guide us towards pure bliss and spiritual enlightenment. Our focus today lies in delving profoundly into the timeless wisdom of the ancient practice of Brahmacharya. This episode is a continuity of parts 6 and 7 of the series. It is important to remember that the knowledge and information I offer stem solely from ancient teachings. As you engage with this information, you hold the autonomy to choose whether to incorporate it into your life or not. The following is presented to you in the form of an audiobook. Brahmacharya does not impose a prohibition on touching a woman. However, it does entail maintaining a mental state that is calm and undisturbed during such contact, much like when touching an ordinary object, like a sheet of paper. For instance, if a man hesitates to attend to an ill woman due to his notion of Brahmacharya, it serves no purpose. Instead, he should be equally unaffected by contact with the most beautiful woman on earth, as he is by contact with a lifeless body. The essence of Brahmacharya lies in cultivating a composed and unwavering mind amidst all interactions, free from any inappropriate desires or attachments. The observance of Brahmacharya has long been perceived as exceedingly challenging and at times even deemed impossible. Upon delving deeper into this notion, we come to realize that the term Brahmacharya has often been narrowly interpreted. Merely restraining animalistic passions was considered sufficient to practice Brahmacharya. However, this understanding is incomplete and erroneous. Brahmacharya entails the mastery and control of all our sensory organs. One who strives to regulate only a single organ while allowing the others to function unrestricted is bound to encounter failure in their pursuit. True Brahmacharya necessitates a holistic approach where all senses are disciplined and harnessed. It is through such comprehensive control that one can truly embark on the path of Brahmacharya and reap its benefits. Imagine hearing suggestive stories with your ears, seeing provocative sights with your eyes, relishing stimulating food with your tongue, and touching exciting things with your hands. Now suppose you expect to easily control the last remaining organ, your mind. This scenario is akin to putting your hands into a blazing fire and expecting not to be burned. The truth is, to achieve genuine control over any aspect of our being, we must be resolute in managing all the preceding factors. If you are determined to regulate your mind, you must also be equally determined to control all the influences that precede it. The path to mastery demands a holistic approach, where each part is interconnected and plays a crucial role in achieving the ultimate goal. Therefore, if we truly seek control over our mind, we must vigilantly guard and govern our thoughts, senses, and actions alike. Let us take a moment to revisit the true essence of Brahmacharya. In this context, Charya refers to the path or route of action, and Brahmacharya translates to action that is aligned with the pursuit of Brahma, which symbolizes truth. The specific connotation of controlling all our senses stems from this etymological understanding. It is crucial to dismiss any incomplete definitions that solely emphasize the sexual aspect of Brahmacharya. Instead, we should embrace its comprehensive meaning, where our actions, thoughts, and senses are harmoniously aligned with the ultimate quest for truth. By transcending narrow interpretations, we can embark on a more profound journey towards self-mastery and spiritual fulfillment through the practice of Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya might seem difficult because our other senses often overpower us. Let's consider the palate, which tends to influence our entire body. Mastering the palate can make Brahmacharya much easier for anyone. Interestingly, lower animals like cattle exhibit a higher level of Brahmacharya compared to humans, as noted by zoologists. The reason behind this lies in the fact that cattle have complete control over their palates, not through conscious will, but through instinct. They simply graze on the land, consuming only what's necessary to stay alive. They eat to live, whereas we often live to eat, focusing on indulgence. Mastering the way we eat significantly facilitates the observance of celibacy. Our approach to food should mirror how we treat medicine, consuming it regardless of its appeal and limiting the quantity to what our body truly requires. Just like medicine, a tiny dose might not yield the desired effect, while an excessive amount can harm our system. Hence, it is essential to strike a balance and eat in moderation, considering food as nourishment for our body rather than indulgence for our taste buds. Indulging in anything solely for the sake of its pleasurable taste contradicts our commitment to self-discipline. Similarly, overindulgence in what we find appealing is also a violation of our principles. When we overeat, our body suffers harm, and though fasting may offer partial restoration, it is not a complete remedy. Let's consider how taste is influenced by hunger. When we are not hungry, even the most delicious sweets might not seem as appealing as a simple slice of dry bread would to someone with an empty stomach. Often we prepare food using various spices and cooking techniques to satisfy our appetite. But then, we find ourselves struggling to practice Brahmacharya and wonder why it feels so challenging. The connection is quite clear. By understanding our relationship with food and our hunger, we can begin to navigate our desires more mindfully. When we eat primarily to fill our stomachs, rather than constantly seeking indulgence, we can experience a sense of contentment and self-restraint. This realization can pave the way for a more balanced approach to our dietary habits and facilitate the practice of Brahmacharya with greater ease. We cannot allow our thoughts to be consumed by food every hour of the day. What is truly required is constant awareness, being mindful of our actions and choices. This heightened consciousness enables us to swiftly discern whether we are eating for self-indulgence or to genuinely nourish our body. By understanding the significance of controlling our senses, particularly the palate, we can begin to embrace Brahmacharya more effectively. We must stand resolute against mere enjoyment and remain steadfast in our commitment to practicing self-control and moderation. Chastity is considered a sacred duty, and sometimes we tend to overstate its challenges and view it as something only great saints or yogis can achieve. We may even think that such virtues are reserved for extraordinary individuals, distancing them from ordinary life. However, in doing so, we forget that true saints and yogis emerge from and thrive in a society where ordinary people strive to lead virtuous lives. We must not relegate these principles to an unattainable pedestal, but instead work to elevate the ordinary level of society. Imagine evil as a fast-moving hare, and virtue as a slow but steady tortoise. Sometimes, the alluring and pleasure-seeking ways of modern society rush towards us rapidly, dazzling and blinding us to the realities of life. The constant influx of modern trends through technology and media can make us feel ashamed of living a chaste life. Additionally, we may start to view voluntary simplicity as a wrongdoing or a crime. The rapid influx of modern influences can sometimes sway us from traditional values, making it challenging to uphold chastity. However, it is essential to remember the steadiness and worth of our own values and principles. By staying grounded and true to ourselves, we can maintain our moral compass and preserve the virtues that enrich our lives and society. Spirituality is sometimes mistakenly portrayed as something detached from our everyday lives, reserved only for hermits in remote Himalayan forests or hidden caves. However, if spirituality has no meaningful impact on our daily existence, it is merely an illusion. Let us dispel this notion and convey to young men and women that spirituality is, in fact, deeply connected to their daily lives. It is their responsibility to embrace and maintain chastity if they wish to purify the environment around them and overcome their weaknesses. Contrary to what they might have been taught, the path to chastity is not as difficult as it may seem. By nurturing sexual energy and living with purity, they can positively influence their surroundings and develop inner strength. Brahmacharya represents complete mastery over all our senses and bodily functions. Achieving this ideal state is incredibly rare and may only exist in our imagination and cannot be drawn literally. However, even though a perfect brahmachari might only be a concept, it plays a vital role in guiding our actions and thoughts. Keeping this ideal in our minds is essential, just like a rudder guides a ship. The closer we align ourselves with this ideal, the more we can progress towards spiritual perfection. Attaining spiritual perfection necessitates a life of unwavering self-control in our thoughts, speech, and actions. While perfection may remain elusive, aspiring towards it can lead us on a path of profound personal growth and spiritual fulfillment.